Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do an unboxing on this MOVA M10 cordless floor washer. MOVA did provide me with this unit. In today's video I'm going to show you how to put it together. Then at the end of the video we're going to show you how well it cleans a floor. Now the MOVA M10 does come with a 3-year warranty. Here's everything that comes in the box. We get some solution, we got a really nice manual. We've got to install this handle, we got a cleaning brush, extra filter, and an extra brush roller. This is the base station. This is going to charge it and wash it and dry it with hot air. And here's the actual cleaning unit itself. All right, let's install the handle. Now the handle does have a mode button, a power button, and a nice display. This is the self-cleaning button, and there's also another button on the bottom. That's going to be the voice prompts, which you can turn on or off. Now there's little detent. We're going to put it in. So the handle's going to be facing back. You're going to put it in like this, push down until it clicks. And now when you want to use it, you're going to put your foot there, and that's time to use it. Okay, round back, let's take a look. This is the dirty water tank. You're going to press this release button, and at the same time pull this out. This is where all the dirty water is going to go. It's going to wash your floor and suck the dirty water up into the dirty water tank. Here's the clean water tank. Press this button, slide that out right here. We're going to fill this up with water. There's a little lip right here. Now there's no lines for measurement of water or solution. It does come with the MOVA solution. You're going to put about 10 ounces, or not 10 ounces, 10 milliliters. All right, so let's fill this up with water, and then let's add our solution. Again, you don't put hot water in here, you just use tap water. Now there are some lines in there. It's basically the bottom line. I put just a little bit too much in here, but I think it'd be all right. Save some room, don't fill it all the way up with water. And now we can put the cap on. And now you want to slide this in and make sure it clicks. Let's take a look at the dirty water tank. I really like this dirty water tank because sometimes taking these lids off to empty out the dirty water can be very hard, but they got this lever up here. Now the first time you move this up, it's going to be really hard. That rubber's got kind of like a gripper on it, and as it gets wet and stuff, it's going to be easier. So lift this handle up, and that's going to separate the lid from that. Now it needs to have a really tight seal because this is a lie flat floor mop. Now this only gets it up so high. You're still going to have to grab this and wiggle this to get this to come off. And there, now it should be ready to come off. It is a little hard to get off, but again, it has to have a really tight seal because it lays flat. And when it's laying flat, that dirty water is going to be in here and you don't want it to come out. So there's where it's going to trap a lot of the debris that it picks up. There is a filter here. You can wash all this off. Now, I like that it comes with an extra filter because this filter may get wet and it may have some debris on it. This is reusable, so you're going to clean that and you're going to let this dry. It has to air dry. It air dries faster out in the sun. And then you're going to put the spare filter in. It goes like this. Make sure it's seated all the way. Looks like we do have a connection, some electrical connection here. That's for the sensors right here. I think that's to let us know when the dirty water tank is full. Now this is where all the dirt and debris is going to be. And there's tube. You want to make sure and get that tube nice and clean with this brush. And also right here, once in a while you are going to have to clean that tube also. And it's also good for getting down in there and clean. Now let's put this back on. It is a little tricky. Just because you just set it there, that's flush. But when I say tricky is making sure this latches. It's a really tight seal, so you want to make sure in here that click there, it's latched. I really like this carrying handle, is super nice right here. It's very well balanced. All right, let's take a close look at the cleaning surface itself. Press these buttons. This is the cover that comes off. Now here's the brush roller. The brush roller is constantly rotating. It's constantly being, water's being put on it. It's rotating, picking the debris up off the floor, and then it's got a scraper. There's a scraper that's sucking the dirty water off into the dirty water tank, which we're going to see that here. Press this button. Now we can pull this off. So upon closer examination, I don't want to tilt this over. But there's also a comb right here that's going to help with long hairs on the brush roller. This is the motor. You're not going to get this motor wet, but you will have to wash this off. And there's the tube. That's the suction tube that goes up to the dirty water tank. You'll have to clean that. You will have to clean this area once in a while, but there is a self-cleaning feature that does after each use. And again, it's going to spray water. It's going to rotate. It's going to clean your floor. Everything gets scraped off and sucked up into the dirty water tank, and then the process starts over. So in theory, the brush roller is always clean when it's cleaning your floor, and it's actually taking the dirty water away into the dirty water tank. It's not like a mop where a mop has to capture that mud, but it could possibly smear it around a little bit. There's just a closer look of the scraper, the sprayer, and the comb. And there's also like a squeegee on the bottom that's going to help dry your floor. Okay, so let's put the brush roller on again. You can take this to your sink and you'll have to clean this once in a while also. But again, there is a self-cleaning feature, which I'm going to show you. Make sure there's an O-ring here. You're going to have to push it past that O-ring, and you may have to kind of rotate it. There is a groove down in here. Push. Now you're going to click this into place. There, this is ready to go. And then here, this is simply just a cover. There's no electrical connection. There's no water. Push it on and it just simply goes into place. Now I like that this has edge to edge cleaning. It's not going to get perfect. It's not going to get exactly up to the edge, but boy, it does get pretty close. And it looks like the other side is about the same. Yeah, that's a really nice feature. And it's going to get right up next to the wall when you're going this way. Okay, so here's the charging base and also the self-cleaning base. It comes with an 80-inch long cord. It's 2-prong. You're going to plug it in. This is going to charge the floor washer, so it's always constantly charged up, ready to go. This is going to heat. It's going to blow hot air for 5 minutes out these ports right here, and it's going to rotate that brush roller to dry it. It's like a rapid drying, which if you don't dry those, they do get odor on them quite a bit. So that's going to be a really nice feature. And then as it's during the self-cleaning process, it's going to, you got to make sure your dirty water tank isn't super full and your clean water tank is empty, because when you put it on here, it's going to use some clean water. It's going to wash the brush roller and suck up the dirty water during the self-cleaning cycle. Now it says it uses 167 degrees to wash the mop. We'll see about that. 5-minute hot air dry. It says it has a 40-minute runtime. 18,000 pascals of suction. Now, one of the main features is it is the lie flat, 180 degrees, which we're going to verify that it will lie completely flat. We did see the tangle free. And that's kind of what this roller here is for. You may be wondering why there's a roller up there, because when it's laying flat, that's where it's going to be rolling. It's going to be rolling on that. Okay, I got the docking station plugged in. There are no lights on it or anything. Sticks out from the wall about 15 inches left to right. 12.5. Now let's go ahead and put the unit on there. Again, we should see it. Start charging. It's going to start charging. We got 30% charge. Now let's measure this complete height when it's on the base. You know, right at 49, just above 4 feet. Now I will be verifying it that it cleans in lie flat, but I just want to show you. There's the lie flat. It will lie completely flat. One of the biggest challenges for devices when they lie flat is there's going to be some dirty water in there, and that dirty water tank doesn't leak. So let's measure that. So 7 inches, about 5.5, maybe 6 inches. That's the tallest part right there. This maybe 5.5, 7 inches also. And the cleaning head itself, about 3.5, and it will go really short, about 4 inches before you start getting into that. It does have a swivel feature that seems to work pretty well, and it moves a lot easier when it's on because that brush roller is helping move it. Yeah, the handle fits well. I can reach all the buttons, nice display. Lock it up. And then it's going to start charging. Start charging. All right, we'll try it on the cereal first. All right, now the muddy paw prints. All right, I'm gonna go over the muddy paw prints a few more times. Let's try the ketchup. Did a good job on the ketchup. Let's just go over it now. Very easy to roll and maneuver. And again, it can lie flat. It can lie flat and clean at the same time. All right. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, let's take a look at the display, what I was seeing up here. There's the power switch.
Smart mode.
It starts off in smart mode. As it senses the floor getting dirtier, that will change color and it'll ramp the suction and the solution up. See? There it's sensing some dirt. Then it goes back to green. We can go to ultra mode, which is putting down maximum solution.
Suction mode.
And then suction mode only.
Smart mode.
And see, as I clean, that's going to see when it finds dirt, it'll turn a different color. Well, let's just see if we can do a small rug. Yeah, you can do a really small rug. It's not too damp. Turns off when you kick it up. Yeah, not too bad. It's very easy to roll. And again, lie flat. Ooh, it got away from me. All right.
Powering off.
Okay, let's do the self-cleaning. All right.
Start charging.
There's the charging indicator. Now we need to press this.
Start quick self-cleaning with hot water. Press the self-cleaning button with an start deep self-cleaning with hot water.
All right, this is the deep self-cleaning with hot water. Now it'll be putting some water on the mop pad. Now don't take this off. I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. There's that comb. You can see that comb. It's doing a good job. So it's filling the mop pad with water, and then it's going to suck it up into the dirty water tank. It doesn't feel too hot. And again, I'm just taking this off for demonstration. Ooh, it turned it backwards. There's that big hair ball. All right. Now, the thing I'm noticing is this is not sticky. Some floor cleaners will leave the floor sticky after a big mess like that. Now, it's squeaky clean. So it has gotten all that hair off of it. Now the brush roller, again, don't do this, but it is getting a little warm.
Cleaning complete. Please clean the used water tank.
Okay, so the self-cleaning cycle is complete.
Drying the brush roller.
Now it's going
Last about 5 minutes.
so the self-cleaning cycle took about 5 minutes, and now it's going to dry the brush roller. It's kind of at a low speed. Again, that brush roller is really hot, so be careful. I can really feel the air coming on that brush roller. So we're just going to let that sit. Now that the self-cleaning's done, I can empty the dirty water tank, even though it's still drying. So, and it got all that hair off of there. I'm anxious to see where all that hair ended up. Okay, again, here's the dirty water tank. Let's use that lever. Again, this is a little tricky, but all right. Now there's going to be all you could take. So that, well, I was hoping that would stay in there, but there, I could take this to the trash can now. It's not dripping too bad. There's all the dirt and debris. I like that little catch. All right, let's check the dirty water. Wow, did a really good job. All right, now we just got to clean it. It does help, and you want it, may want to let this air dry. The filter did not get too dirty, so I'm going to leave that off to the side, but I'm going to get this all nice and clean. And again, we can use this little brush. We want to be sure and clean that tube and down in there. Now, I do recommend letting the dirty water tank air dry. It could start to develop an odor, but let's just take a look here now. Now, this is kind of hot. The brush roller is kind of hot, but it is dry. Now, down here, that bar is extremely hot, so don't touch that. All right, let's take a look. Let's take the brush roller off. Wow, it did a really good job of drying it. I mean, it's ever so slightly damp. I mean, oh, it's almost perfectly dry. Okay, so there's the comb, there's the suction area. Let's make sure that hair was not anywhere else. Let's stick this down. I gotta lay it flat. It just won't go all the way through like that. So let's just check. Yeah, no hair in the duct. It was able to suck all the hair up. That comb eventually did, there was some hair wrap on it, but it did eventually get it all off of the brush roller because it turns it back and forth several times in different directions. So I thought it did a really good job of cleaning. I thought the self-cleaning feature works very well. I hope this video helps. Thanks everybody for watching.